This week's review is a final goodbye to the LandCruiser LC200. This is a big car. I mean, I know we're parked on top of a hill, but the bonnet's coming up to past my waistline, or at least where my waistline should be. The front of it, it's imposing. It's beautiful in a funny, masculine kind of way. Headlights, LED, and they've got little washers as well. The thing about LandCruiser is that it's carried us all through our childhoods. It's explored continents, it's mined, and it's carried grade nomads. This may be going. There's no new LandCruisers for sale that I could find. The LandCruiser 300 is coming, but a lot of people prefer the V8 power with this because LandCruiser 300 will be a V6. The side profile is enormous. There's smart locking. On all four doors, it won't lock because the key's inside the car. There's side steps and these massive tyres. They've got plenty of spongy suspension for on-road travel. These LED lights, they were new in one of the updates. The two-piece tailgate, we've seen that before in Range Rover. Now this is electric, but I've got it switched off so that it didn't make a bunch of noise for our demo. You could perch here for your parties and picnics and so forth. Inside, the third row of seats fold up against the side. There's a domestic style power outlet and a lever to put the second row of seats down, which fold down in a 40-40-20 split. And getting in is unbelievably easy. It feels so solid back here. There's a sunroof at the front, which makes absolutely no impact on my headroom. Have a look at the legroom though. There's a ton of legroom in the back. There's rubber mats. And not one, but two climate control zones for the back. There's a couple of phone charging points and an HDMI point. Plus, there's entertainment controls for the entertainment system. And for good measure, some vents overhead. The armrest has the remote control for your video system. And all in all, this is a really nice place to be. I could imagine going a very long distance on this, though I would want to tell the driver in the front to raise his seat a little because my feet won't easily fit underneath the chair. But one thing I do like sitting way back here is, as you can see, we look over the front, so the driver's head, I'd be looking over to see the windscreen. The front seats have electric adjustment, and when you get in, the steering wheel comes down to meet you. The dashboard is fairly typical Toyota, and there's some genuine fake artificial wood. There's smart cruise control, and there's lane departure warning. As well, the audio controls are on the other side, along with voice control. The centre has the stop-start, a large 9-inch tablet, easy to read buttons, and two more climate zones. Down below that, there's a wireless charger for your phone, and another 12-volt power outlet, heated and cooled seats, and the gear lever for the 6-speed automatic transmission. Here are all your off-roading controls, except for this one, which is power. We'll talk about that when we get off the road. The terrain control system includes this fabulous crawl system, and you can use that with or without the steering assistance. And what that will do is lock the inside back wheel. So as the big SUV goes around a corner, the inside wheel at the rear will lock, making the turning circle much, much smaller than what it would otherwise be. And this will come in handy, not only on rocks and tight country trails, but also in the bush. This is a Torsen 4-wheel drive system, so this is active in 4-wheel drive all the time. In neutral, you push this down and switch to 4 low for really tough stuff. Coming down off this hill, you have to be a little bit careful, but I haven't got my foot on anything at the moment. It's just rolling away freely. And you can see that on that roughish ground, it was fairly comfortable. Gone over a gutter, hardly noticed it. The kinetic suspension is just extraordinary. It feels like you're riding on a cloud of air. This is very limo-esque, and that's the thing I've always liked about LandCruiser, is it is handsome, spacious, but above all, extremely comfortable. And it's just as beautiful and lazy at low speed Push this power button down though and it makes all the world of difference. Now the terrain controls, look, there's no doubt about it, it's going to get you out of tough stuff. But Toyota goes out of its way to make sure that you don't think that the terrain response system is going to extend your capacity or the vehicle's capacity. In fact, all it's meant to do is to augment already good and careful driving. But the clever thing about LandCruiser generally is not how good it is on road. It is very good on road, but it's got a special kind of suspension called kinetic suspension. And in this top model that comes standard, and it uses accumulators to level out all the bumps, but it also means that on rocks and really bad terrain, the articulation is second to none. It's also got some other party tricks too. I'm always banging on about Toyota's crawl feature, which I think is brilliant. It can get this enormous vehicle out of sand and mud way past its axles. Let's go around here. Lovely. Now this is a fairly tight corner, and you can see that it handles things fairly comfortably. It's got all the mod cons, blind spot monitor and lane alert and so forth. And unlike most SUVs, LandCruiser is as comfortable and beautiful on-road as it is off-road. Fortuna that we had last week, for example, to not place too fine a point on it, was not much chop on road, not compared to this. The gear changes are silky and smooth. In fact, they're downright beautiful. And LandCruiser comes, apart from that fantastic infotainment system, it comes with a killer sound system. The sound from it is just brilliant. There's cup holders in front. There's a cooled glove box in the middle so that you can put drinks in there or whatever for your long trip. But of course you could also put a fridge in the back. It'd be churlish of me to move on without mentioning how beautiful the 200 kilowatt, 650 newton meter turbo diesel engine is. It's just so easy, and the steering is so easy. Everything feels limo-like. I mean, that is the only other way to describe it. You might think it'd be difficult to drive in the city. The skid steer and the crawl makes it absolutely first class off-road. But on-road, this feels as easy as a family hatch. Mainly because there is so much power. And the 360-degree camera really makes it easy to know where you are. And that's also very handy for off-roading. You can see here on the center stack that everything is within easy reach. So I can get at my air conditioning and my radio and so forth. But I think the main thing is that with fuel economy of a combined 9.5 litres per 100 kilometres, this is extraordinarily good around town. I've been getting 13.8 litres per 100 kilometres. Now look, I know that's not great, but this is 2.5 tonnes. I mean, that's an enormous vehicle in anyone's language. It can take a lot of people anywhere, even off-road. I think the reason that I've always liked LandCruiser is because there's nowhere you can't go. You can literally choose to go anywhere. And this is one of the very few cars that I'd buy with my own money. This is now and always has been one of my favourite cars of all time. If I was going to go off-road, I would take this happily anywhere. As always, if you've liked the film, hit like, leave a comment, but don't forget above all to hit there to subscribe.